And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Broken Sword, the Shadow of the Templars. I am the Black Shadow, and last time, folks, we had our first introduction to the game. We witnessed a apparent assassination. At least it certainly looked like that. A man in a clown suit who bombed a local cafe, not before stealing a man's briefcase. We've been quizzed by the local police. We've got our first couple of leads to start chasing up. What on earth has actually gone on? Found a we've traced where the clown ran to. We found a manhole cover which leads to the sewers, but we have no way of opening it. So we might need to try and figure something out. But at any rate, thank you. I've played around a little bit with the game, just to try and get it to run a little bit smoother. Hopefully that should help. It also should hopefully make the game look a little bit prettier, which is always important. So we can't do anything at the cafe at the moment, so that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to head further down the street again, or try to again.
The muscular workman wore a morose expression, like a silent warning to leave him to get on with his job.
Fair enough. It's got various bits, though.
It was a huge and weighty-looking engineer's telephone.
The phone.
It was a tent made out of plastic sheeting.
And inside said tent,
it was a battered metal toolbox.
I'll be able to do something with that. You never know.
Hey, stop that!
Oh.
Get away from there! What do you think you're doing?
I was admiring your toolbox.
Oh, wait? Had a good look, have you? I'm warning you, if you touch it, I'll crack your nut.
Ooh.
Okay, I get your point.
This guy is pretty awesome as well, folks. We are going to have a chat with him.
Hey, you!
I thought you'd been arrested.
No, it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, I thought that was it. Those automatics pack quite a punch, you know?
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist? Ha!
He was only doing his duty, I guess.
That's one way to look at it. Yeah, there's a few bits we can ask him about.
Did you see an old guy with a briefcase?
Wait, silly old coot. Do you know what he said to me? Work fascinates me, he says. I could watch it all day. Can't beat. I could have knocked his block off.
This man seems very angry at lots of things.
Did you recognize the old man?
No. Should I have done? Was he a celebrity?
No, but I guess he is now. His name was Pt.2.
Was? He's dead then?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Now I wish I hadn't called him what I did. If only I could turn back the clock. If only I'd been more tolerant.
Regret and remorse are strange emotions. They really bring out the hammiest actors in people.
Good grief.
Did you see a clown come by this way?
A clown? Like in a circus?
Yeah, with makeup and a big red nose.
Huh! Those guys are funny, aren't they?
Not in my experience.
I love the circus, especially the horses.
You haven't answered my question. Have you seen a clown?
You think I've got time to watch everyone who passes by? Some of us have to work for a living.
Thanks.
Look, I know you're busy, but surely you'd have noticed a clown.
I told you already. I didn't see a thing.
He was wearing multicolored baggy trousers and makeup.
He'd be a poor sort of clown if he didn't.
George, I don't think we're having much luck here.
Listen, I have to find that clown. He's a killer.
Say, who are you anyhow? A cop?
No, of course not. I mean, do I look like a cop?
No, but you act like one, sticking your nose in where it's not wanted. How do you know this guy's a killer? Did you see him in action?
Didn't you hear the explosion? The cafe was blown up.
The clown killed the old man?
That's right. Blew him up with a bomb concealed in his squeeze box.
Merde. But why did he go to the bother of dressing up like a clown?
Who can unravel the tangled logic of a killer's mind? I guess it's some deep-seated psychological need. Or just plain showmanship.
Your powers of deduction, George, are quite remarkable.
What's in the toolbox?
What's in the toolbox? As if you didn't know. What's the big deal about tools, anyhow?
They're cool. Tools are civilization.
You don't say.
That's right. Tools are what distinguish us from other animals.
Who are you calling an animal? I've met your sort before. Looking down your nose at me because I'm working class, huh? I've a good mind to knock your block off.
Hey, calm down.
What kind of tools do you keep in your box?
Huh? You really are interested in tools?
Sure, like I said, tools are...
Yeah, civilization. So you keep saying.
So, are you gonna show them to me?
Am I? Why, you?
Aw, come on. Just a little peek.
I've got work to do. Find someone else to bother.
We can really try, folks.
Do you have a tool for lifting manhole covers?
As it happens, I do.
Ooh.
Cool. Lend it to me, just for a few minutes.
No.
No.
Aw, come on.
No. Get your own.
Ah.
Let me explain what I'm going to do with your manhole lifting tool.
Let me explain what I'm going to do with my peak.
Oh, hey, forget it. I'll come back when you're in a better mood.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Take a look at this.
You told me you weren't a cop.
Don't shout about it. I'm working undercover.
Who are you looking for?
That's confidential.
What we want to do with the manhole workery guy here is we want to show him the newspaper.
Would you like to read my newspaper?
I haven't got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
Pah! Look at this. Damn bleeding out liberals. Tja! Save the dolphins. Catch them and eat them, I say. All that fuss over a bunch of fish. Nah, that's more like it. Look at the size of those.
God.
Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this? Saladin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
Ah,
A horse?
so it is.
A legend. Bucephalus reborn, mon ami. Like a streak of lightning she is. Do me a favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole. I'm off to put some money on that nag.
What about your toolbox?
Stuff it. Help yourself.
Oh, cool. Phil, thank you, mysterious worker man. I will handily look after your toolbox. Don't worry about that. Da 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 da.
I'd found just what I wanted. A tool for lifting manhole covers.
Right, very nice. There's also a phone here. That you can use phones in this game. There are numbers you can contact from time to time. We don't need to phone anyone at the moment. We did get a Nicole's number in the last video, but we don't need to worry about that right now. What we have got is this.
It was a metal rod with a handle at one end and a short cross piece at the other.
And we know exactly what we're going to go and do with that. So it's off to the alleyway. Chase down this clown and see where he went. It's down the right here, I believe. In here. Like so. Alright, so what I want to do is drag this over there. Nice.
I lifted the cover to reveal what smelt like the entrance to a sewer.
Well, I didn't think it was going to smell of, like, sweet flavoured popcorn or anything like that. It's a warm summer's day. It's probably not going to be too pretty down here. This looks like this is probably where the clown went. He couldn't have gone anywhere else. Seen prettier things, that's for sure. I'm sure you can notice straight away this.
It was a shiny red plastic ball sat incongruously on the slippery green-slimed floor. As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized it was intended to be worn. It was the clown's red nose.
Ah, interesting. We can go a little further down here as well, so let's do that. When the game decides to load. Yeah, see? More stuff on the ground.
It was a soggy, crumpled paper tissue.
Ugh.
I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was cold and greasy, like breakfast leftovers.
Nasty.
It was a small scrap of cloth caught on the rusting spike. I took hold of the scrap of material and unsnagged it from the spike. The railing was put there for a simple reason, to stop people getting past. It worked. The nose was hollow. Printed on the inside were the words, La Risée du Monde, Paris. It was the scrap of material I'd found in the sewer. It was the soggy tissue I'd found in the sewers.
Sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, so I think I'll just show you everything there is to do down here. So we've got all the bits and pieces down here. So let's head up this ladder here. Let's see where the clown went. Can't have gone far. Thank you, game. Uh-oh.
Hi there.
Hold it right there, you sewer rat. I knew you'd come back. And now I've got you.
Excuse me?
What are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there, immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
Ha! You won't catch me with tricks like that.
Fine.
Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
Now, we've got a few choices of answers we can give here, folks. You can take any one of them you prefer. I'll show you all three of these answers here. I hope I just saved over the right save slot. I have a feeling I did not. Whoops, never mind. I'll show you all three.
A telephone. I need to make an urgent call.
There is no telephone here. I want to know what you were doing in the sewer.
Didn't you hear the explosion?
In the sewer? A deadly cocktail of combustible gases and chemicals, most likely.
No, at the cafe. A deadly cocktail of accordion music and villainy. Most definitely.
Yeah.
What?
Well, that's where all the lines meet into each other.
I was looking for a clown.
Huh, ridiculous. Do you really expect me to believe that?
He planted a bomb in the cafe and blew it up.
What? The cafe? Blown up?
Would you like to,
That is awful.
Thank you. For some reason, I lost shot on my window. Sorry.
Terrorists.
Terrorists?
The meanest, nastiest, dirtiest bunch of guys you ever saw.
Ah, Englishmen without a doubt.
Hey!
The
You can't say that!
The day they opened that tunnel was a bad day for France, I tell you. If I still had the full use of my faculties, I'd march right over there and tell them so.
Thanks.
Well, whoever they are, they blew up the cafe.
What? The cafe?
Blown up? Mon Dieu. That is awful.
The guy who did it was a calculating, cold-blooded killer. He was disguised as a clown. I followed him into the sewer, and I think he came this way.
Ah, mon Dieu. Then, the man I chased, do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes, it had crossed my mind.
Ah, that still does not explain what you are doing down the sewer. For all I know, you are in league with him.
Oh, no, I'm just a tourist.
Most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipe was such an attraction.
He doesn't seem very convinced as to who we are, which is not ideal.
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
What is there to tell? He was a typical criminal type, just like you.
Thanks.
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't. Who is he?
The man who was killed in the cafe. I'm gonna find the guy responsible. I'll find him. Even if it means following him down every sewer in every city in Europe.
Ah, you need some sensible boots.
Huh?
You won't get far in those stupid sneakers.
Hey! I kinda like him.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
Oh, she isn't hurt, is she?
No, she's fine.
Oh, thank heavens. A poor girl like her isn't safe with the likes of you roaming the streets.
Rams.
Can't you understand? I'm not a gangster. I'm an American tourist.
Ah, that's what you say.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, I didn't notice. Now are you going to leave? Or do I have to call the police?
Yeah, see, this guy here is not at all convinced that we aren't in league with the guy that tried to murder everyone. We need to kind of convince him that, well, not necessarily that we are who we say we are, but at least that he can trust us, and that can be done with Augustine Rousseau's card.
Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
Yeah, folks.
What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid Division?
Hominoid.
A homicide. I think the ink's smudged.
Then you are not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you, and I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, monsieur. You know, I had a feeling there was something different about you. It is your posture, your poise.
My poise.
Oh, yes. There is no mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know. I was in the army, you know.
Oh, God.
When I was your age, I was fighting for my life in the African desert. How can I help you, Inspector?
Let's start over from the beginning and tell it just like it was.
Yeah, now he's willing to believe who we are, or who we say we are, and he's willing to trust a bit more, so we can start again. From the top.
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
He was a mean one, monsieur. He grabbed me in an armlock, his face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron, but he did not know what he was up against. Oh no, he made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture. Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
No, okay.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
So you don't want to hear about my experiences in the desert? I fought to make this country what it is today.
I'm sure you did, but I'm a little short of time. Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
You can't suspect her, surely.
Just answer the question, please.
Yes, I know her. Quite well, you could say. She came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
Huh?
Really? So you'd miss her if she wasn't there?
Oh, mais oui. Who else would I find to cut my toenails.
Cut your toenails. Right.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, he was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
Oh, what do you think was in it? Drugs? Stolen jewels?
I don't know, but the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
Well, so he thinks. Let's ask him about the variety of goodies we've got up here.
Take a look at this false nose.
Aha! That looks like a clown's nose to me.
Precisely. He must have dropped it in his panic.
Unless he wanted you to find it.
Why would he want to do that?
To put you off the scent.
I don't know. We did kind of like see him walk in and out of the cafe, so I'm not so convinced by that. But oh well.
This is what I used to open the manhole cover.
I have one just the same as that, monsieur. I will fetch it if you like.
No, don't bother.
Oh, it is no bother, monsieur.
Nah, forget it.
Just trying to be helpful, monsieur.
Oh, cheers anyways.
Does this piece of material mean anything to you?
Ah, that is the same cloth as the jacket I found.
Jacket?
I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
We'll ask about that in a moment, but first...
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur. It's disgusting. What on earth possessed you to show it to me? Someone had emptied their nostrils into it.
Ugh. Not good.
Now, about the jacket you found. Do you have it here?
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair. A pity, because otherwise it was a fine piece of quality tailoring. It had the tailor's name inside on the label.
Where did you send the jacket?
I gave it to an itinerant Romany seamstress.
Just my luck.
Great. Basically, we're not getting hold of this jacket.
Was there anything in the jacket pockets?
Not a sou. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Wow.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind.
Oh, God.
What was the name on the label?
Ah, it was a foreign name. Todrick, I think.
Todrick.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98
Huh?
08 59.
Ah,
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
Yes, that's it. A little trick with numbers that I learned in the desert. I was taught the technique by a Tuareg shaman.
That's incredible.
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout. Do I get a reward?
Honesty, monsieur, is its own reward.
Then I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
oh, God.
I have to be going. Thanks to your help, the citizens of Paris can sleep a little easier tonight.
Vraiment? I was only doing my duty, monsieur. Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon. I'll let you out.
Oh, thank you. So we've got a name and a number, folks.
I hope you
Todrick.
find your man, Inspector.
So do I.
Todrick, eh? Well, better than nothing. Better than nothing. Alright, so at this point, what is it we want to do? Let's see. So, what we got? So we still can't do anything down the cafe. This is all like boarded up and blocked off and everything. Why don't we have a chat with the sergeant? Let him know the things we found out. See if he can give us any more information.
Sergeant Moo?
Please go away, monsieur.
Thanks.
I've tracked down the clown's movements, Sergeant.
Is that so, monsieur?
Yeah, there's a man down the street who saw him crawling out of the sewer.
Dressed as a clown?
No, he changed into ordinary clothes by then.
So, how did he know it was the clown?
He didn't, but all the clues add up.
Little children can add up, but I wouldn't let them manage my bank account.
Well, it's a fair point. It's a fair point.
I know the identity of the dead guy. His name was Pt.2.
Is that so? You knew him, did you?
No, but
We'll know everything there is to know about him soon enough.
I'm trying to be helpful here.
The best way you can help us is to go home, monsieur.
Come on, be a sport.
I found this red nose in the sewer.
What were you doing down there?
Fishing for clues. That's where the clown went.
You still insist you saw a clown, monsieur?
Of course. And this novelty nose proves it.
It will take more than a plastic proboscis to convince Inspector Rousseau.
You don't want this as evidence, then?
Certainly not, monsieur.
Fine.
What do you suppose this tool is used for, Sergeant Moo?
It looks like something an obstetrician would use, monsieur.
It was with tools like this that the clown made his escape.
I don't understand.
He opened up the hole and disappeared into the bowels of the earth.
If you say so, monsieur.
You're not convinced.
Did I show you my tool, Sergeant?
Yes, monsieur. Unfortunately, you
Oh, I love the sergeant. He's great.
I believe this material came from the clown's clothing.
If you are right, monsieur, then the clown must be an Englishman.
Huh?
Well, how do you figure that?
Only the English would wear a suit made from material like that.
Don't you like the English?
It is not so much a question of liking, rather one of taste. They have none.
Jeez. Me and my fellow countrymen here are taking a bashing in this game. Wow. Yikes.
Do you recognize this dirty tissue?
No, monsieur, I do not.
I found it in the sewer.
Perhaps it would be better if you put it back there.
No way! This could be an important clue.
If you say so, monsieur.
Alright then, Sarge. I'll leave you to it.
See you later, Sergeant.
Right, well, not much more we can do here now, folks. So, we have got a couple of numbers we could be looking to contact, however, folks. So I would suggest that we look to do that. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the engineer's phone. It's over here. So we got two names here. We got a Todrick, and we got Nicole's name. Look, smiley face. Let's give Nicole a call first.
Bonjour, Kula.
Oh, hi. It's George Stobbart, the American at the cafe.
Ah, oui.
You said to call if I could help.
Have you any news for me?
You bet. I met a witness who spoke to the clown. And I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Why don't you come here to my apartment?
Fine. Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come right over.
We are doing well, everyone. Alright. Yeah, I suppose while we're here as well, I've got a phone to use. Let's try out this other number here. Todrick. This is the name that was in the suit, so I guess Taylor's?
Hello? Who is
It
it?
looks like it.
Hi. My name's George Stobbart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobbart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No. No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Charity?
Go on. I'm listening.
Do you know a guy called Pt.2?
No, I never heard of him.
Shall I tell you what happened to Pt.2? How he was killed in cold blood?
I told you. I never heard of Plantar.
Bloody hell, George.
I expect Plantar's a family man, don't you? In their little apartment, Madame Plantar is cooking the supper, listening for the familiar sound of her husband's key in the door.
What is this?
Junior is waiting for his daddy to come home from work. He can't wait to show him the merit marks he earned in school today. Only tonight, Monsieur Plantar won't be coming home.
You forgot the puppy.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog, waiting for the sound of his master's voice.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog. What do you think?
I don't know, Plantar. I never heard of Plantar. None of this has anything to do with me.
I think we may have just witnessed an attempt at emotional and psychological bullying, everyone. It was decidedly not effective, just pointing that out.
What do you know about the clown who bombed the Café de la Chandelle Verte?
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
You're cool, Todrick. But I think you know more than you're saying.
I don't know who you be, but sure I am you don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if you're saying that to make me think you don't know what I mean, but... Oh, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick.
I tell you, I know nothing about no clown.
Did you know that one of your customers was a part-time clown?
If a guy feels happy with a funny nose and custard down his pants, what's the problem?
Yeah, unfortunately, Todrick here, not a lot of use.
Thanks for nothing, Todrick.
Yeah, not good, folks, not good. But, well, what can you do? We'll have more to deal with Mr. Todrick later. But for now, we've got a date. Alright. Got a date, got a date. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. No, wait, that's not French, whatever. So we're now off to the Rougerie here. We also got the police station as well, which was what we got from the inspector. We'll be going there later. First up, though, let's head to Nicole's apartment. Huh. Seems nice enough.
The shop window featured a display of gowns and women's stuff.
Very fancy. That's the door we need there.
It was a food store selling fruit and vegetables.
But before we go inside, let's have a look at this little flower stall here, shall we?
They were lilies or tulips. Some kind of flowers, anyhow. Pretty, I guess, if you like that sort of thing. Me? I couldn't see the point of buying something that was already half dead.
That is a bit negative, everyone. Maybe that's just me.
The woman was doing something with a pair of needles that couldn't be described as knitting. She was a cheery old soul, the kind you'd walk across the street to avoid.
Not sure what he means by that, but, oh well.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
Uh-oh.
No thanks.
I'm very good, and it only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to.
That's one way of looking at it, George, I suppose.
Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Well, thanks for telling me.
Yeah, I think George has got the idea of maybe buying some flowers from Nicole, because, you know, George might be a little... Yeah.
What other flowers do you have?
Like
What do they
controller?
signify?
Insecurity.
Oh.
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
Passion?
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat.
Never mind.
Do you know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me, in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see, because of the damp. The landlord said he'd fixed it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
Oh, really? Also, I do not know why the screen is flickering there. I do apologise. I attempt to fix it at the end of the video.
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
We're not far from it.
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. Your young lady, she deserves better.
I'm glad you think so.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Now, don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know?
10 francs, please, my dear.
What?
10 francs? That's a ripoff.
Please yourself.
How does this fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish.
What?
I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism. Either that, or I don't have a future.
Ooh, that is a bit eerie. We can ask her about these. I don't think we'll get very much information out of any of these.
Do you
though.
recognize this nose?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this tool?
Is it something a dentist would use?
Dentist?
No, it's for
Crumbs.
raising manhole covers.
Formidable.
Life lesson, folks. If you ever go to a dentist and then you sit down in the chair and they pull out one of these, scream. Yikes. That is decidedly not good.
What can you tell me about this material?
It's a very expensive piece of cloth, monsieur.
What can you
Is
tell?
that it?
It's a...
Oh, well, whatever.
What can you tell me about this tissue?
nothing.
Yeah, no surprise. But we got the important information out of her.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You win.
I will. It's a bit foreboding, isn't it? Crumbs. Anyways, let's go inside in a cold before we bring it into the video.
The door was shabby and in need of a coat of paint. I couldn't imagine the Collard woman living here.
Crazy, eh?
Remembering the flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently just above the lock.
That's a funny kind of gentle, George. That's more of like an absolute clattering. But oh well.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Same
Please,
here.
call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George.
Yeah, doesn't seem too bad, you know?
Eh bien? And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers beneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The
Thanks.
clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number. What's more, I know where he hired the clown suit, too.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck! Hard work, I'd call it.
Wow.
What happened?
I took my photographs to the editor, but he wasn't interested. Can you believe it? He told me to drop the story.
Really?
But you're not about to do that.
Oh, no. I am going to find out what's behind these killings. You know what I think? It's a conspiracy. The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers just about everyone.
Pretty much. Oh, well. Well, I can understand why you'd have your doubts. I can dig that.
Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Onno Belota, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it. Millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off.
Was he killed for his money?
No. He had no living relatives, and his fortune went to the orphanage where he grew up.
That's
The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
Snowman?
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese green politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium. He was committed to dismantling Japan's automobile industry.
I can't see him gaining much support with a loony policy like that.
Yamada was a man of vision. He was years ahead of his time.
If you say so. How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say, flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
What? Penguin?
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown. You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you what, I won't be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance of a big break.
Or a premature death. I found this false nose in the sewer. It has La Risée du Monde printed inside it.
The laughing stock of the world. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
Why don't you put it on, George?
Huh?
No way am I wearing this. I'd look really stupid. Besides, he might have had a cold.
Like someone else I currently know of.
This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Oh, of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but, well, I had a job to do. I found this tissue down the sewer.
Oh, that's disgusting, George.
I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use. Or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
What we need to do is show this.
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George, it's an enlargement I made. Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh, no?
Take a close look at his left cheek.
A scar. In the shape of a horseshoe.
Oh, a crescent moon.
Alright, we've got some ID to work with. This is good.
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
Do you want this photograph back?
No, you keep it. I can always make another print.
So we've got a picture now of who we suspect might be involved. This is good. This is good.
Tell me more about yourself.
Oh, there is not much to tell.
Well, how did you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought my first camera. I was 8 and my parents had just split up.
Did you live with your father?
Yes, my mother went off with her new boyfriend. I don't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Ah, I'm sorry.
Well, it's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really, always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted I should study art. That's why I went to college.
Did you learn about photography at college?
Oh, God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used, paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair.
Huh?
The only time I wasn't hungry was the time I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh no.
Potatoes, eh? Well, work for the Irish.
Do you have a boyfriend?
That's none of your business.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
May I use your telephone?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks.
Yeah, folks, now that we've got a picture here, we might have something we can work with Mr. Todrick here. You know, we didn't have much to go on in regards to
Hello?
person of the
Who
suit.
is this?
Now we've got a picture to work with.
Mr. Todrick?
Oh, it's you again. What now?
Did you make a suit for a man with a scar on his face? A scar in the shape of a crescent moon?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Tell me where I can find him and I'll leave you alone.
And if I don't,
I won't leave you alone.
I can't tell you anything unless you give me his name.
Name?
Do you know where I can find the guy with the scar?
I told you. Without a name, I can't help you.
Thanks for nothing, Todrick.
Well, at least we've got an offer, folks. If we can find a name, Todrick might be willing to give us some more information. So, we've got a face, we just need to put something with it now. It's better than nothing.
I'm going back out to search for that clown.
Where?
Well, I guess I could visit the costume shop.
Good idea.
Indeed. We know where the killer got the costume from, so maybe they have like a set of records, perhaps. Names? Entirely possible. Unfortunately, that is going to have to wait until next time, everyone. So I'm going to thank you guys all very much for watching. As I say, next time we'll be heading off to the costume shop. Whatever on earth it was called. It was a very, 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 very long name. Whichever one it was. That place. There. We shall be heading to that place next time. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you then.